3, 2, 1. We've got ignition. We've got RIP takeoff. Welcome to another edition of the Self-Love Show, live and live in color. Today's topic is a very serious one. RIP Rasheem Carter. Condolences to your family. You're an ancestor now. As you can see, it's the curious case of Rasheem Carter. And this is the Self-Love Show. Please like, share, subscribe. Let's get this link out there. If you will, it doesn't cost a dime. It's free 99. Chi-Town. You can cue the show when you're ready.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
Fair use, y'all.
Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
All day, every day. Educational purposes.
Are you ready for the ultimate glamping weekend experience? Well, wait no further because House Stock is here. What is House Stock? House Stock is a musical and spirit elevating experience. House Stock embodies the relevance of cultural music from around the world. House Stock is all about the spiritual connection music has all over the globe. So come join us for a testament of love and unity via music. House Stock. House Stock will feature the best DJs the Midwest has to offer. Genres include deep house, soulful house, afro house, techno, progressive, and of course, the classic house sound. Need more? House Stock will have robust vendor village, food trucks, spirit vendors, memorabilia vendors are all deep. A VIP area for glamping, so pack up that tent and come glamp with us. Where you may ask? 2729 Wildwood, and that's in Pembroke Township, Illinois. Tickets are available at www.housestock.com.
In entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying all the way through the show to put, quote, new wine into old wineskins, end quote. Luke chapter 5, verse 37. If there's anything as we proceed which you don't understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have enjoyed the entire show. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be clear and easily accepted a little farther on. After the show is over, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so. But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child. For said the Master in spiritual things, quote, except ye become as little children, ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven, end quote. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. If at times there seems to be repetition, please remember, the Self-Love Show is a lesson not a lecture.
And even in this instance, if I could be a service to a 9-year-old girl or a 19-year-old woman or girl who wants to be a woman, is to really remember that self-love is the best way that you can receive love from anybody else, because it's coming from you. A lot of times we forget that. We look externally for this love. We look externally for this feeling of validation and adoration and approval, and it has to come from within.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
You can't handle the truth. Are you on my frequency? Are you on my frequency? Self-love show, giving you more than vitamins and minerals, food for your soul, information.
Yes, sir. Welcome to Chi-Town's very own The Self-Love Show. For the people. Yeah, buddy. Big ups, Tory Wordsmith. We got our new music on deck. Welcome to Chi-Town's very own The Self-Love Show, where we got two mottos. Motto number one is on earth as it is in heaven. Big ups to the Most High. Self-love vision. Thank you. Big ups to the ancestors, and a bigger up to my beloved late Mama Sky. Motto number two is on earth as it is in heaven. Or as above, so below, I should say. Right now, we can only be found Malcolm exclusively on this YouTube channel. This ain't that network. Or as we say, TATN. This ain't that. As always, this is your co-host, 9 Millie. What down, what down, what down, what down, what down. Repeat after he. I am greater than my excuse. I am greater than my excuse. I am greater than my excuse. Today, we live and live in color. It's March 26, 2023 at about 2:10 p.m. at the Chi. And we love to acknowledge that all of you magnanimous souls can be any place at any time in this spectacular universe. But thankfully, we all Scooter chose to be here together. Here together. What down, brother Wordsmith?
You
What you
already know.
manifesting today, bro?
Love. Now, you know me. I'm manifesting love. What you manifesting?
Ditto, bro. Pure, magnanimous, unfettered, unfiltered. Some say tough, others say harsh, but it's love just the same, good brother.
Yes, sir. No
Hey,
doubt.
So what's been going on in your neck of the shot since we last connorted, G?
This weather been tripping. up and down. Snow on the ground, 55 degrees. Like, what's it going on? It was snowing. It was a sunny snowstorm. It was sunny outside. And it was snowing.
You had some self-love snow. The self-love snow. We're not talking about booger sugar here.
Yeah, also, it's election for the mayor is coming up.
Yeah.
Brandon Johnson, the brother, and Paul Vallis.
Well, you say a name like Brandon Johnson. He sounds like an NBA or NFL player, so I'm pretty sure he's melanated with a name. Although you do be surprised sometimes.
No, but he's melanated. He is.
And Vallis, was he some sort of Spaniard?
You know, the guy that screwed over the school system.
Yeah, but I mean...
And now they got him talking about being the mayor. Huh? Couldn't manage the school system.
Cricket, Shire. Wouldn't be Chicago without it. So how you feeling about the Mayor Lightblunt being ousted?
I was so very happy. Now she can go put her little penis away.
Yeah, well, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. She said she had the biggest one in the whole city.
Yeah, shrinkage. She's voted right out of that. Now, yeah, that vote. Shrinkage.
Well,
who has the biggest one now?
She could have had some sort of surgery out there.
No, she hasn't.
All right, y'all. So for anybody who don't know our format, we always kick it off with the Self-Love Show quote of the day. And then we have our more growth and development video. It's less than 1 minute. That's our platform. Then we have our tattoo tyranny segment. We show our government interacting with its citizens. And, we determine if it's considered tyrannical or not. Then, of course, what if they were pink? And then our dome teaser. Your mind is an awful thing to waste. So we drop a dome teaser, a.k.a. riddle. And we give you until the end of the show to drop in the chat the key. Chat's getting smarter. This seems to be working. But normally self-love smacks them around and gets the answers. And today's topic is one we strayed away from because, quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. We're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like our parents would say, coming up right before the belt came out, or you got Will Smith or something of that nature. Big ups to Will Smith. But our topic is the curious case of Rasheem Carter. Was he lynched? We're going to talk about some knowns and some unknowns. But first, any announcements, bro?
House stock. It's coming fast. Get your tickets because they show ain't gonna last. We got the ultimate in glamping premiere, and come on out. Let's kick it there.
Yeah, whether you're a househead or you don't like to refer to yourself as a househead, that is definitely the place to be. We come to find out many of these cats don't mind being referred to as househeads.
A lot of them embrace it.
Yeah, it's like the N-word.
My brother Jazzy made got some gear for it, househead gear. It's pretty decent. He got I don't know the website. I'll get that information.
Oh, yeah, he should send you a bunch of that gear and have you out there getting it off at the house stock.
Yeah.
Househeads are not dead, you guys. And what's the date of the event?
June 23rd to the 25th.
So we got the house heads, cats at the top of the structure. We recycle our money. That's going to be next week's show. We're going to break down house stock for you guys. So definitely tune in.
Indeed.
My announcements is we're 22 subscribers away from myself and my wife signing up to do our skydive. So we just need 22 more subscribers to reach our second goal, which is $4.99. And then I'll videotape myself jumping out of said airplane, and you may get to see me poop my pants out there, or piss myself. You know what I mean? How valuable would that be for you? And I'll post it.
It's not gonna happen.
I just found out too, Noop, that I can go live. You might be able to, but from the phone all of a sudden on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Remember before you had to have 1,000 subscribers or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're letting me do it now.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah, maybe it's because we got so many hours of viewage.
Yeah, because man, I would think something along those lines, because that makes sense.
And big ups to you, bro, for our new ditty. No more copyright strikes. So I wanted to make that announcement. Self Love's blessed the program with some intellectual property out there that you guys heard. We do it for our people. The Self Love Show. Huh?
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I did the track too.
And he did the track. So big ups. Not AI. He did it by himself.
Oh, Ace put the Jazzy's link in the.
Yeah. Good job, Ace. Good job. If you guys want some house head, you want to buy it from a Black-owned entrepreneur, some house head gear, get yourself all ready for house stock out there. Click that link, that ASEX2U, big ups, dropped in the chat. So, yeah, we're going to talk about this right here. Also, let us know where you're checking in from. We'd appreciate it. And like, share, subscribe. But enough of my yapping. I'll turn it over to this brother so he can handle his business.
Welcome to the Self Love Show, where today we have the curious case of Rasheem Carter.
We do it for the people.
And we're going to break it down. Y'all know how we do. As always, we have a very important video for you to check out. The Silverback More Growth and Development platform, which we are building the Self Love Nation off of.
We're going to get our silver back.
Yes, we are. But prior to that, we have the Self Love Show quote of the day. Lynching is a murder. For the past 400 years, our people have been lynched physically, but now it's done politically. We're lynched politically. We're lynched economically. We're lynched socially. We're lynched in every way that you can imagine. Yeah, facts. Once again, lynching is a murder. For the past 400 years, our people have been lynched physically, but now it's done politically. We're lynched politically, we're lynched economically, we're lynched socially, we're lynched in every way that you can imagine. Malcolm X. And
amazing how that's still appropriate today.
Yeah, because nothing's changed much. Silverback More Growth and Development platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. And 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, to shine a light on positive influences. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless.
9,
close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen.
We're closing the gap. Jazzy, y'all should bump this at, y'all should bang that at house stock, boy. We got another one in our platform, though. Sorry for the crude interruption.
And number 10, protect our women, children, and men by any and all means necessary.
All facts. All facts. Let's protect them by any means necessary. And if you didn't catch last week's show, it was rather fun, I thought. Simp or die or pimp or die. How this is affecting the black community, huh, Self?
Yeah, I learned a lot. So interesting commentary along with the research. Check it out. Go check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, if you're pimping out here, have some damn integrity. And, you know, a lot of you guys get bad raps. And a lot of you females, we discovered they're female pimps. And if you're simping out here, stop simping.
Cut it out.
Yeah, please. Stop simping. You can see that on TATN. But today's topic is the curious case of Rasheem Carter, unpacked. We're going to talk about whether or not we feel like, this was a lynching. 12 is still, quote unquote, investigating and trying to process all the evidence and figure out if there was any foul play, I should say. That's the topic. But, Brother Wordsmith, did you see the joint? It's a video went viral. 12 off duty.
Not sure. I doubt it. I'm mostly. I'm not on any of that.
Well, it's right in your neck of the shy. Well, right in your neck of the woods. This is coming out of the shy. This is our Tattoo Tyranny segment, and big ups to NBC Chicago. Big ups.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
You got to kill me now.
Okay. Watch this.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. You got me.
I told you.
Okay, please. Dang, you shot me for real. Damn, baby, I'm sorry. Okay.
Another shot.
Let's go right now.
Okay, I'm sorry. Damn, baby.
Now you're done for this.
Damn, I'm sorry.
Call the police. Business. Call the police right now.
I'm sorry, baby.
Told your dumb I shoot you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Didn't I?
I don't want to die,
Didn't
baby.
I?
I don't want to
Didn't I?
die. Yeah, baby.
Didn't I just say I'll kill you?
I'm sorry,
Didn't I
baby.
just say that? Didn't I just say that?
Didn't I? I'm sorry.
You just,
I don't want to die, baby. Please.
you call police. I just shot somebody.
Wow.
Just told you I shoot your tried to rob me. Tried to help your dumb. Call the police. He just tried to rob me.
I'm sorry, baby.
Call the police. Now, you thought I was playing? I told you I'll shoot you.
Damn, you took the gun from me?
He tried to steal the gun from me. Call the police.
That's your gun?
Yes.
It's
Call the police.
racist to you? Just let him go, man.
No, call the police right now.
I'm
Call
fucked
the
up.
police.
Damn.
He just tried to rob me. He got a whole surprise.
Why she ain't got a phone?
Yeah. I just saw him brother. He just
Right.
tried to rob me.
Right.
Call the police, guys.
Some
I did not tell him.
Alright, put the gloves on, baby. Please, baby. I'm fucked up, baby.
I just told you I was trying to help you.
I apologize, baby.
I just tried to help you.
You popping?
I told you I tried to shoot you. You tried to steal my f***ing gun.
yeah, that's
Tell him. He just tried to rob me. I gotta go to work today, yo. That just got me in trouble. What happened? He just tried to rob me. I'm trying to help him. He just
shit.
Wow.
So you thought I wasn't gonna shoot this?
No.
You didn't, did you?
You said he studied his ass.
Yeah, I'm good.
And you was trying to help him, wasn't you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna come down right now.
This man is going nuts.
So rest
at a
in peace
snow mountain.
to that brother. He has been deleted or unalived, as they say. So she's a police officer off duty. One thing I want to say before you comment, I didn't see him trying to steal her gun per se. I don't know what he was trying to steal. I don't even think he knew she had a gun. But what's your commentary on this before we decide if that's tyranny or not?
It was a wrestle for something that was very close in, so it could very well have been the gun.
Well, how would he have known she had it? He probably didn't start going for the gun until she pulled it out.
I
Like
don't know.
who's going to try to strong arm somebody for a gun?
It's a desperate person. I don't know. She said she was there to help him. Was she handing him some money and he tried to take the rest of it? I don't know.
Right, that's what it sounds more like, but it seems like she's pushing a narrative that he was just trying to steal. You know, it sounds like 12-ish to me.
Right.
He went for my
I didn't
gun.
know she was 12, but she is 12, so you know that.
Yeah, so it's off duty 12. So she was off duty, and her concern was she sounds like a psychopath. I'm not going to get into whether she was right or wrong. Sociopath, I should say. She's more concerned about this man bleeding out. She's saying call the police, but not saying call the paramedics. She's saying, and I got to go to work. She had no, in my opinion, no respect for human life.
It was a lot said in that segment. Didn't I tell you I would kill you and things of that nature?
Kill you.
Yeah.
There was a third shot after he had already pulled away.
It was off camera, so we don't know what that was about.
Yeah.
If she wasn't 12, I would feel completely different.
Would you?
Yeah.
I'm not. Okay, I felt like there was overkill. I felt like she announced her goal. I told you I would kill you. It's the city of Chicago. We know how this goes. He did. She claims, we don't have that on camera, that she was trying to help him, which I'll accept. Don't know why 12 is working out or walking her dog or walking the street without a cell phone. Sure got that stick. Or maybe she couldn't call because she wanted to keep him secured.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but she was sure trying to get somebody else to call.
The man was pleading for his life after the first shot, and she continued to shoot him, bro.
Yeah. It looked. Didn't she say I'll shoot you? You know, I told you I'd shoot you before she shot him.
Yeah.
So I think she had, and she's 12. So yeah, a lot of them don't have any compassion or empathy. They no longer possess it. Working their job. I don't,
But I see your point. She's a woman, and I kind of see your point. 12 or not, she is a woman, and there's a man trying to attack her, or attacking her. Can't even say trying to.
Yeah.
But it just looked like he was reaching for petty cash or a wallet or a phone or something. And then she didn't want her stuff to be taken. Maybe she didn't want her gun to be taken.
Yeah.
And she upped her gun. I didn't see if he had a weapon or anything of this nature.
I'm certain he had no weapon. It was a strong arm. He thought he was going to get it over there and get close to her and be able to just take whatever he's going to do.
Ace said she was walking off and he grabbed her for some unknown reason. I don't know what the help was, but she gave it to him. Rest his soul.
He died?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
She shot him 3 times, like all up in his guts. And he was just saying the whole time, I'm sorry. After the first shot, he was apologizing. I mean, I don't know. We can get to the tyranny discussion. People always say you don't know what you would do in those situations. But it was her conversation afterwards that just concerns me, to your point that she's 12. And I got to go to work. He did this. I got to call the police.
You're going to get me in trouble. And I might get into some trouble.
Yeah, she wasn't trying to help him at that point, resuscitate him. There was no, call to paramedics. There was none of that.
12 don't do that. They'll shoot you and handcuff you and wait on their supervisors to get there or whatever. They don't call the ambulance for people they shoot.
Now, she wasn't on duty. So just based upon that, it's hard to give it a thumbs up, and I'm not going to call it tyranny.
Yeah. I mean, she wasn't
acting
duty,
in the course of,
and she was in plain clothes. So, yeah, See, this is a new one.
Yeah, that's a new one. I mean, nobody wants to see her because who knows what he could have been trying to do. He could have been trying to assault her sexually, and things of this nature. But her story about he tried to steal my gun. I mean, he was probably trying to take the gun because you poured it out and you were shooting at him with it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he was grab her like that trying to take a gun. He didn't. How would he know she?
Know. Exactly.
If he knows she's 12,
right?
It's like he don't even know she's 12,
right? And
he was talking about getting robbed or something. He said he got robbed. They took my $80 out of my pocket or something like that.
So he probably did know it was 12. If that's the case.
He mentioned, when they took my last $80. Then why did?
Yeah, if he's trying to rob 12, I mean, rest his soul.
Yeah, there's no hope for that.
All right, so it's not tyranny, mainly because she wasn't working in her capacity as a police officer. The only reason I ran this self-love was because of the conversation that was going on. There just didn't seem like there was any, like, you shoot a dog and I got more empathy than that. The dog's attacking me and I got more empathy than that.
Well, 12, especially Chicago 12, they don't have empathy. I mean, most of them have.
You don't know what's in their hearts.
Oh, I know it's no empathy. I can tell by the way they act.
So you know what's not in it, huh?
Yeah. Some bitches.
All right.
How they treat people and how they act. They don't see themselves in their place at all. They like, man.
Yeah,
I stay up in cop land. You know what I mean? You can't come up there doing all that mess.
I can't. No, you can't. Oh no, you can't even roll up a blunt and smoke it on the street. You're just chilling on your break without getting 4 or 5 12s pull up on you. But indefensible, running around the community attempting to strong arm anyone but a woman. Indefensible.
Yeah.
But I just heard him being very apologetic and didn't want to die. And I just heard her like I pop steady letting off shots.
Bullets will make you feel some remorse, I'm sure.
All right. Next segment here. This one's self-love. Is called The Caucasity of Hate. The Caucasity of Hate. Yeah.
This man is going nuts at a snowplow driver.
Look at this! Look at this! This is the road! Get it off the road!
He accuses the driver of intentionally pushing snow onto his property.
And you don't put it in my driveway! You don't put it in my driveway!
Get your hands off me!
I didn't
Get them off me!
I didn't touch you!
Paul Manson has been plowing snow in New Hampshire for 30 years, and he says he's never had an encounter like this.
He was just very verbally abusive. He had his hand on my sweatshirt.
Short
and
man's
he was
complex.
just upset that the snow was being plowed off to the side of the road and I wasn't pushing it far enough over, and he wanted it out of his driveway.
The furious homeowner is a New Hampshire state representative.
Oh my God.
Jeffrey
No wonder.
Greason.
The
What do you think
Caucasian.
about a state representative, an elected
Literally, he's in the
official,
caucus.
behaving that way?
The
I'm
Caucasian.
absolutely mortified.
Push it over there! Out of the road! Over there!
Snowplow rage is not uncommon during the cold winter months and normally centers around snowplow drivers
didn't
just
want
doing
none,
their
though.
jobs.
He didn't want none.
But homeowners take offense when the snow
I didn't
ends up
touch
on
you.
their properties.
No, damn well he touched
And that's when the angry encounters can happen.
You don't put your snow on my property!
Saw
This
one
man
before.
screams at his neighbor. And this was an argument that erupted between neighbors during a snow rage dispute in Scranton, Pennsylvania in 2021.
This is white on white crime.
One neighbor ended up killing the husband and wife before turning the gun on himself.
Wow.
Wow.
We saw that
This
too, didn't we?
snowplow rage didn't turn deadly, but it sure was ugly.
Push it out of the road!
Push it out of the
An
road.
angry homeowner who is also a pastor apologized,
Oh, a
but is been
pastor
charged with criminal
and a
threatening
state
and assault.
representative.
Oh
Wow.
my God! All right, so before we get into what if he was black, all right. So this guy is of the cloth, allegedly, and he's part of our government. He's a congressman, for God's sakes, and looks like he had some. He's part of the caucus, as you said.
State representative. He's
What's your take? I mean, this guy's got a job. He's just pushing the snow like everybody else.
He's tired of digging out his own property, and he really feels entitled because he's the part of the caucus, and so the caucasity for him to jump out there and reach out and touch people and push their phone away and all of that. The caucasity.
All while being filmed. They know they're being filmed, and they just can't hold that rage in.
Man, these Karens and Kens are something else.
Man, that could have been part of he'd been part of a lynch mob back in the day, man. You know, I'm not gonna say he was a skinhead. You know, it looks like he had male pattern balding, but he's got all the qualities. Flip the Mills bill on him. I don't have any problem with that. If he'd have just come out there and flipped the Mills bill on him and walked away. You gotta listen, congressperson, who's ever going to his church and voting on him, purchase this man a miniature snowblower. I mean, come on, self. Like
Same service you use for the church, just have them pull up.
pull up. He's lucky he wasn't in the city of Chicago pulling that on one of those city workers.
He's lucky that person wanted the video instead of just thumping him.
Correct. Yeah, he did lie.
He was like,
I
after he
didn't
said,
touch
"Don't
you."
touch me. I didn't touch it. I didn't
Yeah,
touch
he
it."
got
But he
caught.
backed
Did
off
he?
when he said that. I don't know if dude stood up. or
Dude
something.
probably was like, yeah. Dude was probably coming. Yeah.
Like, motherfucker.
He was running around looking like a little Adolf Hitler. You know, he could barely get through the snow. He was so short. And this is not going, short people, but yeah, he said it's a trifecta of caucasity.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a triple entendre. All right, so let's just say if this was Pookie, and he's a congressperson in a city like Chicago, great state like Illinois.
Scandal.
Yeah.
All over the airwaves. All the channels pick it up.
And he was a
running
preacher
on everything. Oh, they would have led with the story with that. This is a preacher and a congressman, and
you're right. No, they would
at how he was.
have showed the church.
Yeah.
they would have got some black constituents and some black members of that church to get on camera talking about it. Yeah, I did that.
No, it wouldn't have been constituents or whatever. It would have been, the neighbor that, didn't do their hair and out there in rollers, and that's who they run up to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew something was going wrong at that church because, man, they be over there. They packed. Ain't something wrong. I don't know. They don't give away nothing. They don't give away nothing.
We don't get turkeys and book bags.
Nothing. They don't have no meal. They don't do that. No
my
meal
kids
for
need
nobody.
turkey. My kids need turkey and book bags. Need a
Right,
book
they
bag to
don't
put the
give away
turkey in.
nothing.
Yeah. All right. So we agree that would have been different if he was some sort of melanated out there.
Oh, yeah. Much different.
All right. This video, this promo video may not play because it's, what do you call that? They flagged it. YouTube's getting really sensitive.
Oh.
They flagged it for, what do you call that?
I think it'll be all right.
Over 18 or some crap.
This far in here. Yep.
All right, let's roll and see. See what it's doing. Let it go. All right. Trigger warning, you guys. Trigger warning.
On commercial real estate event. Is this the right one?
Nah, see, it skipped it.
So I thought
it.
about that question, and
Yeah,
I think
it skipped it because
it's got the flag on it.
Yeah, because they want to give people the chance to decide if they want to watch it. So we'll go without it. We'll go without it. I kind of anticipated that. They keep putting those on these promo videos. But at least they're not dinging us no more for it.
Yeah, wah.
Yeah. Something you can't show violence, and that promo video had zero violence in it. I mean, zero. So. All right, so let's get to the Dome teaser. I forgot to do, and then we'll get on topic. Today's Dome teaser. Here we go, everybody. Improve your minds. What do you throw out? Okay, so it's probably trash. No pun intended. What do you throw out when you want to use it, but take in when you don't want to use it? What do you trash when you want to use it, but take in when you don't want to use it? I have no idea what the answer is, so I got to look at it and make sure. Okay, yeah, no. So we're going to get rid of trash because that's unfair to you guys. It'll throw you off. What do you throw out when you want to use it, but take in when you don't want to use it? That's the Dome teaser. If you guys think you know it, type the response in the chat. Self-love looks like he's simmering on it. He's letting it marinate. But enough of the appetite. Oh, he's got a thumbs up out there. I'll give him a chance to type it in on our private thread here. Yeah, I was going to give you some hints. I was going to talk about Kier and Judy. If you couldn't come up with it at the end, you'd have put it together. All right. So enough of my yapping out there.
Let's quench the self-love nation's thirst.
Yeah. Let's get it on. So we don't have a promo video. Well, we do, but they won't let us play it. You guys know the purpose of the show. This is to give us a platform, us being the B1, the melanated, so that we can speak what we speak on. It's not a debate show because we don't want to just get click views from brothers and sisters arguing and shouting at each other on the internet. We feel like there's enough of that going on. The topic is the curious case of Rasheem Carter. We're going to discuss sundown towns. Many of you may not know what a sundown town is, and if you do know what it is, you haven't told your children. You haven't, to protect your children from real life. You haven't told them these things. You just get them a driver's license in a car and let them go drive around. Um, we're going to discuss what we know about Rasheem Carter, rest his soul, and condolences to his family, prior to the alleged lynching. This took place in unincorporated Taylorsville, Mississippi. Okay. Taylorsville, Mississippi. We're going to discuss 12's culpability. That's a question mark. You know, these are allegations. We don't know what's in the Taylorsville's PD's heart. We're going to go over some known facts. We're going to go over the autopsy report. Family and friends. What was their responsibility or culpability in this situation? And of course, we're a solution-based vlog. And so that means we'll again remind everyone how to avoid being the next victim of these atrocities. So, what do we know about Rasheem Carter, Delph Love, prior to his life?
Well, he had a seafood business restaurant that closed during the pandemic, and he was looking for work to be able to reopen. He's from I've read things from 30 miles to 100 miles away from where he actually lived for the contract work he was doing.
Well, yeah, he did. I didn't know about the restaurant, but I do know. So even during the time he's doing the contract working, he's also got a side hustle where he's still cooking and making plates for people and stuff like that. So yeah, the guy was a grinder, and he had a daughter. He was a single dad too. So
yeah, the restaurant was named after his daughter.
Okay. Yeah, and they said that his daughter was his princess, and he would go on daddy-daughter dates, and just being what they say that, which we've disproven on this show, black fathers aren't in the picture, and blah 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 blah. Here he was, a single dad, working a job and a side hustle, according to self-love, potentially getting money together after the pandemic to put his restaurant back, to get his restaurant back on board, right?
Yep.
Wow. His mother said he was an incredible son, an incredible dad. He was trying to do everything right. The reason he was working over there, 2 counties away, to your point, was he wanted to be able to provide for his daughter. He treated his daughter like a princess. This is Crump. They would actually have daddy-daughter dates with her, taking her to the movies, and he'd be at her friends' birthday parties. He always tried to help his mom make her ends meet. He had an incredible smile that brightened the room. Crump says he never got to meet Rasheem, obviously, but he's heard so many people talk about the nature of his character and death, and all we can say is what a loss for the human race. So, even if it was Pookie or Ray Ray, as the Triple K says, we never use that as an excuse, because nobody should, I don't wish what happened to him on anyone. But this guy, he's living the African American dream. Entrepreneur, working and stacking money.
At a young age, too. He was 25 or something or so.
Yeah, I think 20. Yeah, he was 25. He would have been 26. He missed his daughter's 6th birthday after the murder and after his death, and didn't make his 26th birthday. So yeah, he was 25. Yeah.
It's just a shame, no matter who it is, to just be unalived like that is unspeakable.
completely unspeakable. So, and you were kind of going into it. So, yes, he was doing electrician type of work. He was an independent contractor, and he had come up on some work 2 counties over. Um, what's well, well, before we do that, um, what's a sundown town?
There are usually small towns where
Black towns?
huh?
Black towns?
No, these are white towns, small pink people towns where
they don't take too kindly.
Yeah, it's okay during the day. You know what I mean?
Right,
you spend money and you come in and spend money in their businesses and all that, but they don't. When the sun go down, you better not be there because the other side of them will come out.
I venture to say we got some communities like that in Chicago to this day, Marquette Park, Gage Park, and such.
Not nearly as much. Little pockets, maybe. But whereas the whole Marquette Park used to be like that, it's quite a bit of us living in Marquette Park now.
Yeah, Dr. King said that was the
now
worst
Mount
place.
Vernon, around 111th.
Oh yeah,
from Western to
around Marinette Park.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Those are some pockets where, I mean, they still accept your money. They're not going to attack you when the sun go down, but they don't want you there though.
Yeah, so historically, these sundown towns used to be on maps. During the civil rights movement, pre-civil rights, so African Americans knew where to be and where not to be. Some of them literally had signs up that'll tell you ain't welcome
there.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
And law enforcement, one thing we didn't mention, they were all part of it too. You didn't want to.
Oh yeah.
You were driving through a sundown town, and there's still some in the south suburbs of Chicago and in certain suburbs. If they catch you driving around there, they're gonna pull you over and ask you what you're doing, where you going, and why are you over here.
Yeah. That is.
But they don't know what's in your heart when they pull you over.
Well, we know what's in theirs.
So that's a sundown town. So I know most of us in our age range, we know exactly what it is. Just make sure your little ones know. Don't be bashful with that information. I'd start sharing that with them when they're around 13 or so, whether or not they can take it or not. Not to feed hate into them, but to feed love into them and let them know you got to be smart how you're moving around. We like to point out the neighborhoods within our community. You know what I mean? Don't go over there to those projects and don't do this and that. You know what I mean? Come in when the lights are on and all this and that, and street lights go on. But we don't tend to talk to our little ones. I'm not speaking as a monolith. I'm saying in general about these things, and they're definitely not teaching us in these public schools or these private schools.
The indoctrination centers.
Yeah, pre-prisons. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and break it down. What do we know? What happened to this brother? Before you go, though, I just want to say that he was getting a ride every day with a pink person, and this particular day, the guy called him, or the day before, said, "I'm not going to be able to drive you around tomorrow." So he was on his own. No, he took him to work, but said, "I couldn't bring you home." So he was on his own. So what else do we know about this case?
He got into it with a coworker. Didn't really go into in depth about what it was or what had happened.
It was his boss.
Oh, that's who he got into it with? I know it was a coworker. And he called his mother and said that 3 trucks of guys was following him, trying
Pickup
to kill him,
pickup
and
trucks.
yelling racial slurs. His mom told him to go to the police station. He went to the police station, and they basically told him he had to leave. He did have a ride coming, but
Yeah.
he never made it to where the ride was going to pick him up.
No, the ride told him they couldn't take him home.
No,
Oh,
it was,
you're saying from
it was
his
somebody.
family
Yeah, it was somebody coming to get him
after the fact. Okay.
Yeah, they were when he found out he couldn't. Dude wasn't giving him a ride or whatever. I don't know how it went, but he had somebody coming. She was to pick him up.
Yeah.
At a gas station or somewhere, I guess near the work site or what have you.
Now, his mom said that while he's out here, and I'll go through the article. He was texting her and calling her, and he said, if something happens to me, it was my boss. So he did say that. But I saw somewhere, couldn't find it on many places, but supposedly the boss has been cleared. Probably could have had an alibi. Doesn't mean there's not any entanglement.
They checked the phone records or whatever, and the phones pinged 100 miles away at a different work site or something. But that could just mean that somebody took his phone to the other work site.
Yeah, or he had some entanglements. Correct that, or because it wasn't just him that he was beefing with. I've known people that have worked in these sundown towns. They might have a trade, and it's them against you. You know what I mean? And so, he could have beaten the crap out of one of them for all we know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They like to get tough sometimes, and then they get those paws put on them, and and now they get a posse. Yeah.
Very possible.
But now 12, okay, this is an article from Inside Edition. The body of Rasheem Carter, a 25-year-old black man who was found dead in a wooded area a month after being last seen at a hotel, was intentionally dismembered, according to Ben Crump, classifying the young man's death as a modern-day lynching. He was last seen on October 2, 2022, at the Super 8 Hotel in Laurel, Mississippi, according to a missing persons report posted on Facebook from the Laurel PD. On November 2nd, remains confirmed to be Carter's were found in a wooded area of Taylorsville, about 21 miles away from where he was reportedly last seen. Carter's loved ones immediately suspected foul play in his death and called for a federal investigation into the case after they say, trigger warning, he was decapitated and believed he was the target of a lynch mob. The findings of a forensic anthropology examination released this week noted it could not determine the brother's cause of death. Officials with the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation said a forensic anthropology examination of Carter was completed by the Cricket Letter State Medical Examiner's Office, and there was no means by which the cause of death could reasonably be determined by the medical examiner's office. That autopsy also noted evidence that Carter's remains had been scavenged by animals, according to a copy obtained by CNN. The condition of Carter's remains meant the state medical examiners could not reasonably determine a cause of death. It's the third time they've said that. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation said in a statement, "It's hard after certain times to be able to come up with a cause of death when a person has been brutally killed in such a manner," Crump says. Crump and Carter's family demands for justice after they say officials overseeing the investigation into Carter's death appeared to almost immediately rule out any further investigation. The county sheriff's office said no reason to believe foul play was involved. The sheriff from day one made a conclusion that there was no foul play, and so his parents and family have very little trust in the Mississippi law enforcement. A head being decapitated seems to be not something that animals would do. It seems like something people would do, Crump said. Miss Tiffany Carter and her family, they were desperate for somebody to help them get some answers, so we took the case with hope to get attention. Carter's family says the day before he vanished, he went to the Taylorsville Police Department. His mother, Tiffany, told reporters. He told his mother he was going to the police because there were 3 truckloads of white guys, because 3 truckloads of white guys were trying to kill him. And it's funny, they got video of him running around shirtless, like somebody told him, like they should do Tim Buck and Brow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look like a slave or whatever. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
I can't for the life of me figure out how he was 21 miles away from his hotel or the hotel where he was working or near or however that is. How was he 21 miles away? Why was he 21 miles away and how did he get there to even go to the Taylorville Police Department?
That's a good question. They said his ATM card was allegedly used after he was found dead. I guess the animals did that too, huh? So
after he was found dead, which was
Yes.
a month after he was dead.
Yes. The Department of Justice could also aid Crump in obtaining surveillance footage of who tried to use his ATM card after he went missing. The DOJ has not yet responded to Crump's request to get pictures of who's using the ATM card, noting that it could take up to 4 weeks for the agency to do so. Carter's family has also called on the FBI to get involved. Let's see. We reached for comment. The Taylorsville Police Department referred Inside Edition to the Smith County Sheriff's Department, saying that the sheriffs are handling the case. The Smith County Sheriff's Department declined comment. Go ahead.
So Smiths County is not Taylorsville. Okay. Because Taylorsville could still be in Smiths County or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They
So
turned it over to the county sheriff, and a lot of times what that be about. Probably because it could be some internal investigation going on, because they were saying that he went to the police station, asked
Right.
for a ride, and they said that's too far out of our jurisdiction. And then told him he couldn't wait at the police station.
That's collusion.
Would not let him charge his phone, so he had to go somewhere and buy a phone charger.
Sounds like good old boy collusion.
It's the good old boys.
Saying, "Oh, I don't see any at all chance of foul play." Man's head cut off and head sliced back, but he can't see any foul play. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, that is strange, bro. All of a sudden the medical examiner's office can't figure out a cause of death from a body that's been somewhere for 1 month.
Well, it's been dismembered. So,
all right, but surely the animals didn't kill him.
I'm not even saying the animals dismembered him. That's lynching. That's what, they used to do.
Correct. And then you see the picture of the brother running around shirt off.
It might be just like the other case that we talked about.
Yeah, there
where
were a
the
few other ones.
where the girlfriend dropped off the boyfriend, and they said they killed him in self-defense, and he had bullet wounds in his back. You remember that?
Oh yeah, shot up in the back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in self-defense.
Yeah, I mean, so it's interesting, and we'll get into it.
It's like they took him out there and hunted him.
Correct. Like, yeah, yes. You go to those police stations, and it's sundown, and they can make a phone call and say, "Man, we got one."
Yep. Round up.
I mean, we can't say that for 100% sure. These are all allegations, but I just find it interesting that no foul play. So the equivalent would be Jim White guy is somewhere stuck in the community, deep in the black community somewhere, dropped off in the hood, goes to the police department. They tell him we can't give you a ride anywhere. Won't charge his phone, and then he's missing. And then his body's found a month later in an abandoned building. We'll just say in the forest preserves, and no sign of foul play. We don't think there's anything funny.
20 some miles away.
Correct.
Forest Preserve, 20 some miles away. That's crazy, man.
There's a lot of things I don't understand about this case, though.
They took him, period. And,
Yeah, but he ended up at the Super 8. But we're going. I got some more questions to ask.
He started at the Super 8, right? And then he disappeared.
You saying he was working at the Super 8? Is that where they were working?
No, I don't know where they was working. He was doing some iron work.
Right. So he couldn't have, he started at work. He didn't have a ride.
Right. So where was the job site? Because apparently it was Lauren, Mississippi. I think I remember them saying. That's where the work he was doing was in Lauren, Mississippi. That's why Taylorsville, how did he get to Taylorsville and all of that? Yeah. Oh, we'll contemplate and speculate more.
Yeah, y'all know what this sound means.
The second half. If you don't know, it's the Self-Love Show, and it's halftime. And we have some great videos we want you to check out. And make sure that you look in and decide what's right for you in your life. Don't let it get dictated to you. Today we're dealing with the curious case of Rasheem Carter and expanding the conversation. Second half, we're going to really expose some solutions.
It's the
Self-Love Show. How would one embark upon commercial real estate investing?
So I've thought about that question, and I think someone that is looking to get into commercial real estate now should look at opportunities in multifamily. That's a healthy area to get into. Housing prices are rising, interest rates are rising. There's been a slowdown in homes being constructed, at least in the Colorado market and around most of the country. I'm sure it's the same in Illinois as well. But I think the multifamily market would be great to get into. And there obviously are a lot of those properties in the Chicagoland area, from 5 units like I bought back in the day, all the way up to 40 or 50 or 100 unit buildings there. And so if I were looking to do something, I would explore a multifamily property. And one trick or a strategy I would suggest to those of you out there looking to get into it. Obviously, if you go to a bank, you're going to be looking at some pretty expensive money to borrow on that type of purchase. If you find owners of multifamily properties that are interested in selling and motivated to sell, but may not be getting the level of interest from potential buyers because of the slowdown in the economy and the higher interest, approach those owners and see if they would be willing to do a owner carry. And an owner carry is where that owner would serve as the bank and give you, for lack of a better word, a mortgage on a property. So let's play it out real quick. So let's say there's a $200,000, you approach an owner of a property on the south side that wants to sell a 6-unit for $200,000. And they've had it on the market a while and no interested parties because interest rates are now 7% for commercial properties. Well, you can approach that owner and say, look, I'm going to give you 10% down. So I'll give you $20,000 now as a down payment. And then why don't you be the bank for me? And the remaining 180, let's do a mortgage, a 25 or 30-year mortgage that balloons or that is payable in 5 years, and give me an interest rate of about 7%. And that will benefit the seller in that they're not going to get hit with a lot of capital gains right off the top at the transaction. And it gives them the ability to enter into a transaction where the demand is probably less because of interest rates now. And then it gives the buyer the ability to approach a seller and not have to deal with all the red tape and issues we have to deal with as Black folks trying to get commercial loans. So that would be an approach that I would take on right now. There's a lot of, at least in Colorado, and I'm sure it's the same in Illinois, there's a temperature now and a willingness of sellers to consider owner carry. If they can get some money up front and they can spread out the payments. Now, this may not apply if there's already debt on the property, because obviously that debt needs to be paid. But there might be a situation where you can assume the debt on the property, not to get too complicated with the analysis. You assume that debt. But so think outside the box, I would say, in terms of opportunities, approach sellers. And I did that on my property in Beverly. I remember, I think it was a $300,000 purchase at the time. And I think I went to Beverly Bank and got the first mortgage, but I think I needed 20% down or 25% down. And Beverly Bank was only willing to give maybe 80% or 75% of the value of the property. And then I had the seller give a second mortgage for like $30,000, paid him off over time. So think creatively about financing, particularly in a climate where interest rates are rising like we have now.
We've got one who can see. You definitely want to, once you and the owner come to an agreement, hire yourself an attorney, retain an attorney, look over the details and all of the legalese. This brother right here was able to, probably construct his own contract with the owner and make it make sense. Would you suggest, because I know you said, okay, so start with a 5-unit or something.
Single family.
Right. So you would suggest, starting somewhere like that, before like embarking upon like one of those strip malls or anything of that nature?
If you can do a strip mall or a retail center, you might want to do that. You've really got to do your due diligence.
Hey bros, what's going on? This is Cotton. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Do you still have them?
I got mine.
The Self-Love Show, giving you more than food for your soul. Information and plans to grow to make your mind grow with more growth and development.
Yes, sir.
Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is what we represent.
Welcome back to That's Right. Today we're discussing and unpacking the curious case of Rasheem Carter. An interesting case it is. It's appears to be a whole lot of BS in the game.
Hey, absolutely, bro. I got a timeline on this. Yeah, he was working in Taylorsville. He was staying at the hotel in Laurel. So
that was the 21 miles. So that's what we needed to ride.
Correct. Normally he would ride back and forth with a coworker.
Okay.
But the coworker told him that day, I can't take you home today. I think he knew it though before he went there.
Right.
I don't know why he didn't arrange a ride before that or what the situation was. We're not going to victim shame or blame at all. But he was reported missing early in October while staying at a Laurel hotel and working in Taylorsville.
Okay.
According to the family, in early October, he went to the police department in Taylorsville to report that some men in a white truck were after him.
Interesting. Okay.
Correct.
Just felt that Taylorsville could quite be a sundown town for 100%.
Yeah.
He went to the police station and they're like, yeah.
Which is why the county is involved, because it's a conflict of interest. They're probably investigating this police department. So somebody comes in there and tells you they're being chased and their life is being threatened, and there's no police. There's no police report. There's no.
And you send them back out. Like, well, you can't stay here.
Right. We know they sent them back out, but I'm saying there's no police report. There's no, let's go out and find these guys who are chasing people.
Yes. And sent him back out. It's got to be investigated.
Exactly. So he told the PD, Taylorsville, that someone was trying to harm him. And his mom said, I heard him when he said that, because she was on the phone. But the police told her that he never mentioned that someone was trying to harm him. But the mom is adamant that he told me on the phone personally that there was 3 white trucks full of white men. He waited nervously in a police station, pacing back and forth, and asked the officers for a ride back to Laurel, where his hotel was. The police say they refused because it's out of their jurisdiction and claim that they had no room for him to stay in the police department. I bet they could have put him if he went and broke a window, they'd have had room.
Put him in a cell. Well, they probably would have did the same thing that happened to him, actually.
Laurel is 30 minutes or so from Taylorsville. Now, the sheriff, Joel Houston, says to the Taylorsville PD, to them, he never seemed to be in any distress or anything, and he never mentioned anything about being in immediate danger. They offered him a phone call, and he said he had a phone, and they even offered him a charger, but the charger that was available didn't fit his phone. So he was just trying to find a ride back to Laurel when he came in contact with the police. So let me get this straight. He can't charge his phone, but he didn't use your phone. They need to check the phone. He didn't use your phone?
Well, his cell phone pinged at that place is why they have any record or story of him at all. Guarantee it.
Correct. Is why they're even commenting on it at all. Correct.
Otherwise, they would have never said anything about any of the contact whatsoever.
And there should be cameras in the Taylorsville PD where you can see how he came in and what his reaction was. Was he pacing back and forth? Was he sitting there? All of that should be on camera at this point.
It's unincorporated area, so I don't know how much money is put into the police department in such areas. And like Ford Heights don't even have no police.
Yeah, but when they did have police, they had a camera.
And they were very crooked too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but back to these pink people.
Yeah.
Although Ford Heights was pink, and they were.
Yes.
I know about them. I dealt with them, but.
Yep.
So I'm just saying we need to know if there was a camera, and somebody needs to go on record saying we didn't have any camera. None of our officers' body cams were on because this needs to be done. If the feds are investigating, I'm sure they're asking these questions. So they say where Carter stayed that first evening is unclear. And to your point, he ends up miles away where they found his body. If he could have gotten that far, then he could have walked back to his hotel. But they said they don't know where he stayed that night, but he returned to Taylorsville PD the next day. And according to his family, again, received no assistance. On Sunday morning, October 2nd, a family friend, Isha Green, told Carter that they were coming to pick him up, but it would take several hours. Once Green made it to Taylorsville, she never did find Carter. Green said, quote, "When I first go there, I went to the Chevron and I waited there for a little while. I went to the Piggly Wiggly and Junior Food Mart and the Family Dollar Store, and I went in and asked, have they seen him? And everyone said no." Green also drove to many other places, including Carter's hotel in Laurel, but she would never make contact with him. Later, he was seen on a landowner's camera seeming to look around with a stick in his hand. They were hunting that man.
Yes.
It looks like he knows that someone's after him, and it looks like he has a stick in his hand. So I don't know if someone's chasing him, but he has bruises and a gash on the hairline. And we're talking about no foul play.
Yeah. It's a good old boy situation. And if his cell phone didn't ping there, they wouldn't be, it would have just been, they erased all of the evidence.
Correct. Now, here's some clarity. The family stated that 2 days after the family friend couldn't find him, an unknown person withdrew $500 from his bank card. So it was 2 days after he went missing. Carter's family doesn't believe that it was Rasheem who withdrew the money. They also believe that he was murdered on October 2nd. Some cameras where ATMs are, they roll for like 30 days, and I want to say it deletes and rolls again for 30 days. So they know they have a time frame on getting the information from the footage or wherever he was.
Right.
Whoever withdrew the money out, the Smith County Sheriff's Department knows it's a time frame when to check that footage. From my understanding, they've been going back and forth with Chime to get them to release the card number to see where the money was withdrawn from. It took a while to get records back, said the sheriff. We didn't learn of this information until the first week of November because you weren't investigating shit. It's basic investigation work. Person's missing, was in distress.
Was his card used? Did he spend any money? Is it any that digital
footprint? To your point,
yes.
Where was his cell phone pinging? Correct. You brought this up multiple times. Basic, the ABCs of locating a person. But the sheriff claims, they didn't learn of this information until the first week of November, and they were finally able to get the full card number of the Chime card after a subpoena and search warrant. According to the sheriff, the last time that card was used was on August 13th. Houston also clarified there was no proof $500 was withdrawn from the account in the month of October. According to the family, Carter went to a store the day before he disappeared. There he told his mother that the cashier was on the phone and said, "Yeah, he's in here." And he quickly left the store. Someone must have called in the store, or they were on their personal cell phones and asked if he was in the store. He told me that when I heard her say, yeah, he's in the store, I got out of the store. Houston stated he is aware of the incident involving the cashier, but the cashier has no knowledge of this. Carter's mother states Rasheem messaged her the name of the person who would be responsible for his death. This is a dead person's declaration, final declaration.
Yeah.
If something was to happen to him. Due to the sensitive nature of the case, as yet unproven assertions, the Vicksburg Daily News will withhold this information for now. They don't have no problem releasing Pookie's name as a person of interest.
Well, you know how it goes.
On November 2nd, I'm going to throw it to you. Carter's body was discovered in a wooded area in Taylorsville, according to the family. He had his Super 8 hotel key and his wallet along with his chime card. He also had what appeared to be a cell phone battery, but not a cell phone. We believe it to be a cell phone battery, but it had been in the woods for several weeks and we weren't able to locate a phone, said the sheriff. It may not be a cell phone battery. They don't know if it's a cell phone battery. It possibly could be, but it was sent to the Crab Line lab as well to determine what it is. Inbred. The body was discovered by the Smith County Sheriff's Office in a pine tree plantation with the help of cadaver dogs from North Mississippi. Houston confirmed a cell phone charger, a vape, all of his bank cards, car keys, and cash were found on the body. They're going into this no indication of foul play. We want to reiterate.
Keys? It said car keys?
Let's see. And it did say car keys. Maybe his whip wasn't running.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah. The Smiths County Sheriff's Department released a statement in their social media. Well, that's a good point. Maybe the story about I can drive you to work and not take you home. Maybe he didn't get that information until he was getting off work that day, else he would have drove his own whip.
Right. It's all a setup, it sounds like to me.
The Smith County Sheriff's Department released a statement. We want to reiterate this is an ongoing investigation. Other agencies, including the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation and FBI, have assisted as well. All details have been given solely to the mother, and if and when she wants anything additional released, or if we find anything else that the public needs to know, we will release that information. Houston reiterated that Carter's case is an open investigation. Houston went on to say the case has taken priority for the department. We're working very closely with the MBI and the FBI. We would like to keep the family in our prayers. Rasheem leaves behind a 6-year-old daughter. His remains are still in possession of the Mississippi Crime Lab, awaiting an autopsy. Of course, we've had that autopsy. Tiffany Carter has yet to see the remains of her son at the time of that. And later she was saying they wouldn't really let her see. Something's not right. So looking at this picture, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
They said that they delivered his skull and his spine in a bag to the family. I read that somewhere, and that's like
his skull that was scalped.
Yeah, and his spine that was separated from the body and found.
You got family in Mississippi. What kind of wild animal is out there? I mean, is it gators and stuff?
Well, there are gators, and there are
wild boars.
Yeah. Yep. Even if you let a wild pig or a domesticated pig out, as soon as it get out for long,
turns into a wild boar.
Yeah, wild. Yeah, that's not gonna do that. I don't know. You might have some bears. I'm not even.
Do you have wild dogs?
You have a lot of dogs, but I don't see them attacking people and eating them, or finding them
and getting him where he couldn't protect himself. Now here's
or even finding him dead and separating the body like that. I don't.
Well, here's what I'm wondering.
This is either an obvious case of lynching, or this brother's had a mental breakdown.
Yeah. And I think it's.
No one mentioned that he had any mental issues.
They said he's never had any, from what I read.
Right.
What I looked up. He never had a history of any of that. And the people at his work site were saying that he was different during the last weekend. But if he had a blow up with your boss, then I could see that.
Where he messed up at, he should have gone in Taylorsville and said, "It's 3 truckloads of Pookies chasing me, gang members." They'd have got on their horse then.
They would have known that was a lie, and they already know the 3 truckloads of people that was after him.
I was looking at some Facebook posts. To your point, it's such an unincorporated town. You've been down here in Mississippi, and that's one of our goals. We're going to go to the Delta once we hit a certain plateau of subscribers. You guys subscribe, please. That there was no hotels. But what does the police department mean? They had no room for him to stay there. Like, he's a working person.
It's, they have, unless they was filled to capacity with prisoners or whatever, and that ain't the case. That ain't the case.
What's so important about the damn waiting room when you come in there and you walk there's no chair that he could have sat in. He obviously, wasn't a homeless guy trying to post up, man, I don't have a ride. I don't feel safe out here, in this sundown ass town. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we got to get into. Ooh.
All the setup, it sounds like everything. It sounds like they called him, like you called it earlier in the show. Yeah, we're about to set him out now. He gotta go. He can't stay here. We'll have no room for him. So, get the boys together, gather him up, get them together, because we're gonna ride down on them. Okay? All right.
Interesting, his cell phone was not found on him, but he had the battery. What do you make of that?
Well, the last place it pinged is at the police station, I believe, and they destroyed the phone. The phone did not travel with them out there. They would not be hunting him with his cell phone. He'd be able to call somebody or something.
A said the sheriff's department will say it's Bigfoot. It was a lynching. I mean, again, I'm feeling it was either a severe mental break, because you remember that case up here in Palmdale. I went up there and with the brother. Turned out they're alleging he had a mental break and hung himself out there, and it wasn't the sheriff's department that hung him. But remember, he was having issues with the sheriff, and we don't know what's in their heart, but we know the LA County sheriffs are gang members.
Yeah, and he couldn't hung himself like that by himself with the evidence on the scene and the set, period.
I'm just telling you what 12's facts.
Right. Their whole,
yeah,
that's what I've been, yeah.
Their investigation said, all right?
Yeah, if you just, believe their investigation and don't investigate their investigation, then you in trouble. Because these people said no foul play.
After they found that body like that. So do they normally find bodies in those areas that's been missing for a month? The way that his body was, I don't want to keep repeating the graphic nature of it. Like, is that, I can see if that's normal. Everybody we find here, the animals to tear it up, but I haven't heard this anywhere.
Man,
you're in the swamp.
Man, that's just some crapulous behavior. And they're lying. Because if it was crocodiles, they would have ate the body and we wouldn't have found no bones. We would not find
And you'd
no
have crushed bones, the skull, all that. Yeah, they're
be
yeah.
be in the waste from the animal. It wouldn't.
True.
You wouldn't find alligators spin and take things off, and then they eat it, and then it's in their stomach and it digests or whatever. So not.
But they cleared the employer and employees allegedly. Now I only saw this on one news source. Wasn't able to find a lot of that because I was surprised when I came across that.
Right. I saw where it said that they cleared them because all of their cell phones pinged at a work site 100 miles away or something like that.
Well, maybe they got 2 phones, one for the clan and one for the plug and one for the clan. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying. Yeah, like I said, they might have had somebody drive all their phones out to the other work site, to the other work site for them to hunt.
Well, that's what it seems like. They were hunting him. Speaking of hunt, it seems like, like those movies where, yeah. Like they were having fun that night.
Yeah, you alluded to it, and I said it earlier. I was like, yeah, they hunted him. Yep.
But is lynching still a thing? I mean, it's 2023. I mean, we don't even have an anti-lynching bill for us. I think the Asians get something like that. But
they had one up. They had one. I think we might have a.
Yeah, they have to discuss it.
No, I think we have a.
We got one
executive order or something that's you get 5 years or something.
Mm-hmm. But it's not a bill.
No, because Congress is not going to do that.
But is lynching still a thing? I hate to sound naive.
Yes. It comes in different forms and fashions.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the quote that Malcolm X from the Self-Love Show quote of the day.
Yeah, Trayvon Martin was lynched. In my opinion.
I mean, almost all of us are getting lynched, like he said, socially, economically, the education system. When we are allowed to get home loans, we get lynched. We don't get the same loans.
And the house is overpriced when you're buying it and underpriced when you're selling it. It's losing twice.
It's crapulous institution.
Okay, so here's something I find interesting, and I hate to be that guy.
Called Cassidyism.
But I got
name it something different. Called Cassidyism.
But I got to bring this up. So I have a family member calling me, telling me there's truckloads of white people chasing them in this sundown town. And I can't go get this person until the next day, and even the next day when I communicate with them, it's going to take a couple hours. I mean, we got to do better, people.
Yeah, because if somebody's chasing you with a car load full of people chasing you, then you're not going to be there the next day.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so
we don't even know how this communicated. He might have told his mom, and then she got to try to find somebody to, go get him and find somebody to ride. Some of these small towns, everybody don't even have a car. Right.
Well, it's a shame she told him first, go to the police, which she should have, and we're going to get there. Right? Go to the police. But the second thing is, and I'm on my way.
What if has no means? What is there no means to?
That's what
I'm you talking about like I never heard of Lauren or where he was from. You know what
No
I mean?
means.
Like a lot of
Zero. He's
people.
got 500 in his account. There's no Uber come to that area. We can't send him an Uber. We can't. There's no
Bro,
public. There's no public
hey,
transportation. Nothing.
when I had cell phone 5-6 years, my farm in Mississippi, no coverage. The Sprint had no coverage there. I'm
Right, but
just
he
saying,
had
and there are
coverage.
people, right, and because he's from there, so he get coverage. I'm saying there are people there that have no vehicle at all, and they walking a long way to the store. Ain't no stores. It's nothing.
Nobody in his family or his friends. He's 25 years old.
He said he
Nobody.
had a car. Maybe it wasn't running like you saying or whatever.
All right, listen. I'm just throwing out options. I hear you. I cannot accept, and pardon me, that this 25-year-old man didn't know anyone with a car. That in the light of an emergency, if somebody called me and said, look, man, Pookie's after me, or these guys are after me, man, where you at? Okay, I may not have a car, but man, I can get on the phone and start calling people like, man, y'all got to go get self-love, something. That's all I'm saying. Like, but I hear you. I did want to go there. Like, were they that destitute? But he had $500. Look, I got $500 in my account. Come pick me up. I'll throw you $100 when you get here.
I hear you, and I can't speak on it, but I know I've seen how people can't do anything. They call around to do everything, and in light of that, people don't even answer their calls because they're dependent on someone else for all of their movements.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get a call from those type people, you don't even answer until you do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And I guess Uber's probably not a thing. Probably not a lot of drivers riding around there.
Yeah.
The Uber driver could have been in the Klan. But go ahead.
Right. None of these towns are big. So like Uber, I wouldn't think would be a real thing down there because
it's got to be somebody sitting around want to make some extra money for some MEP in those small towns.
Yeah, how many riders when it's a whole bunch of town full of MEPs? You know what I mean? It's no demand for the service.
And maybe I'll understand better when we go down to the Delta, but something just does not seem right that my son is in peril and I'm made aware of it through text messaging and phone calls. And the best we can come up with is family and friends for a great guy like this.
Hour away.
A great guy like this.
Only an hour and away.
20 miles, I doubt it even take you that long.
Well, 20 miles was from where he was working. I mean, from where he was staying, from where he was working. He was 100 miles away from home.
Oh, okay. From where his people would live.
Yes.
Okay. Got you. Not like I said, if it's just a regular typical, hey, look, man, I don't have a ride and I don't want to be in this sundown town. Somebody might say you on your own or whatever. But by the time somebody's saying, no, I'm being chased,
Right. I mean, and I guess it was cool for him to stay in Lauren, Mississippi.
Right. Laurel must be okay. Right.
Yeah, but not Taylorsville. Right.
Never even heard of Taylorsville.
That's why they didn't have him staying in Taylorsville because it's and if it's all a setup, that's why the guy that was driving him from Lauren to Taylorsville told him he couldn't take him that day or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And knew,
it was a setup.
Which is the whole reason why he needed a ride, because it wasn't no other way of getting around in that town.
Yes.
You got to be driving or
Yes.
And he probably didn't even want to be driving in that town, so he'd ride with the white man. You know what I'm saying? Well, Ace said you would probably need to be near one of the university towns like Oxford or Starks to even get an Uber.
Yeah, that's the only place where it kind of makes sense. These places like where my family stay at, it's not no Uber driver, bro. They not driving Uber there. And you can pretty much walk everywhere. Like, I mean, if it was 100% necessary, you could walk.
No, and I understand what you're saying, but even a big mama or somebody living in that situation, and they got a cell phone, is always a go-to person. But I think he was that guy. I think he was the go-to person when the family needed something and needed somebody to go bail somebody out, pay some money, go pick somebody up. It was probably him and nobody else. That's what it sounds like. Like there wasn't that guy or the ex-girlfriend or the baby's mother or somebody's self.
Mm.
All
I
I'm
don't know.
saying is it's sad, but we got to figure out a way to somehow do better. Knowing what we're up against out here.
Yeah, I don't think he knew he was up against that when he took the job or what have you.
Well, no, I get it. I get it. I get it, and
I'm not blaming him or whatever. I'm not blaming any of us. Any of them. It's 100% situational. We don't know what occurred.
I know.
I know somebody said, "Oh, I can go get him," and it was.
But that was the next day, and even that person said, "I'll be there in 2 hours," which I understand because the next day,
100 miles.
Man, he's not getting chased anymore. So I get it.
Yeah, 100 miles away too. So it's gonna take,
But then so he was still alive the next day, and I wonder if he was calling people the next day or if that was some criminal
text message.
Correct.
Because actually, the family said they believe that he was murdered on the 2nd, which means him and going to get picked up on the 3rd was.
But they said he went to the police station the next day, and that could be the police line covering their tracks too. They said he went to Taylorsville Police Department after the night that he was being chased. So he went in there the first day.
That could be complete lie.
Fabrication. A said Taylorsville is in Smith County with a population of 1148.
Right.
1,148.
Right. Sundown town.
Damn. Every time we go live, Siri be popping up on my Mac, just ear hustling. I didn't get that. I bet you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because wasn't nobody talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody even mentioned.
Might have to cut her off during the show.
Yeah, I don't even use it on my Mac. I'm gonna cut it off completely. That's a good point. And then my phone will start doing it, but we'll handle that there. All right, so enough. I don't want to bash their family. You've explained it. I get it. It's all after West. I'm being Captain Hindsight here, so we'll push past that. All right. So we said lynching is still a thing. I agree with you on that. Now, should be one, whether they're in these hick towns, these sundown towns, even in Chicago, I've heard you say you don't go to the police for anything. When is that in our playbook? Although I can understand being chased by 3 truckloads of people, maybe that's different. But when is it in the playbook for us to even depend on 12 to do anything for us?
Well, the so-called B1, if they, unless they come from a long line of policemen, shouldn't have any faith in the police force to protect us. They just serve us. They don't protect us. They serve us violence and all kinds of shit. They don't protect us. They're not bound to protect us by law. Supreme Court in a number of cases say that they could be present and watch you get unalived and suffer no consequences.
So they have no obligation to protect us legally?
No. They're to protect the possessions of the elite.
You know, you try to walk in another man's shoes, and I'm not from there, but neither was Emmett Till, rest his soul. It's just messed up, you know, being black in America, that you even have to have these thought experiments. Like, what do you do? Where do you go?
I mean, until we raise the vibration of this place, there's nowhere that's safe for us.
You think we should have our own black, not police departments, but like a security department type of thing? You know, that'd be nice.
So-called,
Yeah,
so-called black. I don't like that term. So
Yeah, yeah.
so-called black.
yeah, yeah. You know, a melanated place, you know, emergency areas where we call our own people and somebody can come swoop you up, or it'd be nice to have that.
Yes, it's necessary.
There's social work. I know it costs money, you know.
I don't know those ish people. They got that. They got their own police force, and
Oh yeah, you talking about the Azanakis
yes, yeah,
from the Caucasity Mountains?
yeah, from Ukraine area. Yep.
I mean, the mother's doing the best she can. He's a father in the picture. Haven't heard anything about his dad. You know, which is part of our platform, protecting our women,
Yes.
children, and us
Yes.
by any means necessary.
Yes.
Needs to be some conversation on this. You know, I just told my wife, because of these deep fake AI apps, you know, they can get your voice, my voice, and call your kids and say all types of stuff, and say it like it's you. You know, meet me here, meet me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, simple apps. So I told my wife, I said, listen, you know, we established a PIN number. You know what I mean? And it's a PIN number she has, a PIN number I have, you know, and that way, yeah, give me the PIN number so I can know you're not some sort of bot. You know what I'm trying to say? Talking to me, you know, with some sort of software. We truly need to have these conversations because we are at war still, whether or not we want to believe it, on how to handle a situation like this. There's no playbook for this. He was set up. It ain't no coincidence that those 3 trucks were behind on his ass like that on the
No.
one day he don't have a ride.
Right. Facts.
It's not like he walked every day. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, yeah, we're gonna get him. You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
riding a bike.
It's coordinated. I mean, yeah.
But they've all been cleared.
Well, they were cleared by
Yeah, the
Taylorsville
feds,
police.
yeah, the feds ain't cleared them.
That's who cleared them.
The
Shit.
same ones.
Not even the feds. The Smith County
Yeah.
ain't cleared them.
The same ones, Self, who looked at his remains and said there's nothing to see here, like the South Park cop. No foul play. That's mind-blowing.
It's not for me because he was at the lynching.
When you juxtapose it, if a white man goes missing, the type of searching that they would have done, you know, the helicopters, right away.
Better yet, a white woman.
Oh, yeah, but I want to compare it to a man because he's a man, you know. Yeah, definitely for a white woman. But I think we as a people, too, need to be able to get our posses up and say, man, we're going to look for them. And that's what I'm saying. Our dependency on 12 in 2023 seems way misguided.
Yeah, they found him really because the landowner had that photo and put it out there, and then they did a wide search, and I'm sure that wasn't Taylorsville, that was Smith County
And the Mississippi Bureau of the state too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying a lot of times it's the pink people, they'll get their posses together and they'll go out looking, and there's this third party company too, the ones that go find everybody. Why don't they never show up when we're missing? It's I can't think of the name of the group. They never show up when we're missing.
Because they don't think we are they know we're
Humans.
different. They know we're a different species.
Mhm.
They know we are. They have no ties to our species.
Yeah, I
they
just
are-
wish we had that in us. We got to find this missing person, this missing woman, and the men volunteer to go out and do searches.
Man, we would be. We do need an institution to do that because we have so many people missing. It's way more than they have missing, and it's like melanin is valued more than gold, diamonds, and platinum together, and they are harvesting. And we have so many missing people. You would not believe how many missing people we have. They go missing every day.
And that's been going on since prisoners of war and chattel slavery.
Yes.
You can just kill one of us and say, oh, he must have what? Run
Ran,
off.
yeah.
Mhm. And then they find some other schmuck or ancestor of ours and say, oh, but that looks enough like him. We'll say that's him. And there's no investigating being going on. Now you got yourself a new worker and got away with murder. Because, they used to pick up people in the North and claim that they were runaway slaves and they end up on a plantation some damn way.
Or free people wherever they live.
Yeah.
And take them and enslave them.
Yeah.
Because there were a whole lot of free melanated people. A whole lot.
Yeah. So get into the solutions. According to you, it's nothing they could have done. They were all so poor and barefoot and destitute.
No, I mean,
I don't know. It's a whole family. I don't understand. I don't know their situation.
He could have not gone there to work. I'm sure that he knew there was a reason why your hotel is 21 miles away from the work site.
Yeah, but you need that money, man.
Yeah, all the way up until motherfucker tell you that he can't get you off of there, and it's gonna be a day and a half before somebody can come get you out of there.
Okay, so yes. Yeah, I guess it's chestnut checkers. You'd have to figure out, expect the best, but figure out the worst case scenario and what you would do if you're in a given situation when you know you're working in a shady environment.
Yeah. And move forward, like, you gotta move faster if it's gonna take a minute to be able to go get somebody at in need like that.
And one thing we've learned over the years is using downtones, asking for forgiveness as opposed to permission.
Yeah.
I don't come into the Taylorsville PD like, yeah, they chased me. Can I stay here and can I use your phone? Hey, I'm gonna need to use your phone and I'm gonna be staying right until somebody can come get me because these cats are crazy out here. Well, you can't stay. I'm not going nowhere. You know what I'm trying to say, right? You're going to charge me for trespassing to a police station and I'm reporting a crime. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that couldn't have blown up in my face, but I'm not asking and listening to them say, well, you can't wait here, and then walking out. I just would have been sitting in front of that police station all night, slept on the porch.
Incarcerate me.
Correct.
Lock me up. What you want? I'm not leaving. I'm trespassing. Lock me up. Come on. Let's get, you know what I mean? Make them even.
You can't be trespassing on that's public property.
Making you even more culpable.
Yeah. This is all Captain Hindsight, but what can you, like, I hear you, Self, and I'm not denying what you said, because ultimately that's the point. I mean, that was the only protection, is to not be working there. But I do know guys that work in these racist places. It's not sundown. Well, there are sundown towns. They're just a lot more than 1,000 people, and it's closer to a big city like Chicago. So, but they paying that money, man, and we got mouths to feed, bro. You know what I'm saying? And
you gotta, for the most part, have reliable transportation if you're going to deal with that situation. So, because there are places that you can go and work and, you know, make good living, and you're gone before the sundown, and you don't even know that it's a completely know that it's a sundown town.
he had to have known.
Like I said, 20 stand, you know, your your hotel is 21 miles
Self, you
away
talked
from.
about your people in Mississippi. If you told your people, yeah, I'm about to go to Taylorsville, and it's 10 o'clock,
Yes.
you know, the sundown town in their area, they would
Yeah.
have told you, you ain't going, don't go over there. They'd have started laughing. They all would have started laughing, and then told you you ain't going nowhere. And what would have happened to you if you go there? So I see your point.
Yeah. You had to know. And it's 21 miles. That's a significant. It's not like 2 miles. It's not like 3 miles. It's not like a lot of times they put you in the closest place to the work site. 21 miles.
And that's at a hotel. You ain't even at your house.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out, because they were their other thing was what do you call that? Not exposure, but hyperthermia or something. Because you know he's got his shirt off, and they say when you're going through hyperthermia, you start feeling hot at the end. But there's nothing 12 could have told me that would have had me going God knows where that night, besides sitting right, especially having been chased, than having me sitting right there. That's what makes you wonder what they said to him and how aggressive it was. Something's not right about it. This whole story stinks. This whole story stinks. They probably threatened him.
Who knows?
Or he had a mental break. Of course, he couldn't have cut his own head off and pulled his spine out.
Right. That's a possibility, but no, it's
No.
not. Just like you said, the scalping and the decapitation.
Yeah.
And then the separation of the spine away
From
from
the rest
the
of
body.
the body.
Yeah.
If the animal did that, the animal would have ate the spine. I mean, that would have been what he was going after. Correct. He's not going to just rip the spine out for the sake of ripping the spine out. You know. Yeah, but this is tough. Again, I really want to, give my condolences to the family. It's a lot to unpack in this, bro. You know, where's his father? Whether father's married to the mother or not. I just have all these scenarios where I haven't heard from the father at one point in this. You know what I'm saying? Was he in a position to call his dad? Probably not. Maybe his dad's locked up. I don't know. There's a lot more to unpack. It's a lot going on into this, us as a Black community, that leaves us exposed like this. I'll put it that way. Low hanging fruit.
Yeah, I mean, the economic inequality,
economic lynching,
puts us in a vulnerable situation a lot of times, and we have to take and observe and feel the brunt of bullshit as a result.
And 12 knows. They know who's got these white pickup trucks. If this town is as small as what you guys are talking about.
1,148.
Yeah.
It might have been one of their pickup trucks. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're going to meet around there. We're going to put them out, and I'm going to change my clothes, and we're going to come right out. Robe up. Allegedly.
Yeah, it's sad, man. It's really sad. And if you guys know of any resources, um, please put it in the comments, or you could drop it in the live chat as well. Resources that could be used um, if we find ourselves or our loved ones in this situation, and there's nothing we can do about it. Um, it's got to be a social department, but guess he could have called the NAACP. Well, to your point, Self, I mean, there's certain places where I'm not wanted, and I don't want to be there. I tell my wife all the time that, you know, I don't care how nice the neighborhood is. These people are looking at me like they want to put me in a tree.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna force myself on these, drop dead gorgeous people.
I'm gonna have to respectively
Darken,
disagree.
darken their community. I get it. I never understood that with integration. You know what I'm saying? You make it when you get to move out of your black neighborhood
It's
and
idiocy because
move around the white people.
Well, I mean, it might be learned behavior because every time we build up a grand neighborhood or area and made it fantastic, the jealousy kick in, and then they destroy it, burn it down, flood it out, run all of us off.
You're right. Become Gestapos within the police department.
I'm just saying, then government bombed Tulsa.
Yeah, and Project Operation Move and many other towns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's all I got on this. I'm sure there'll be more coming out. She's got the attorney involved, and the only reason any of this investigation stuff is even in motion is because she got the attorney, and the attorney started filing lawsuits and things of that nature. So, big ups to Crump, because if they're as destitute as what self-love is suggesting, he must be working pro bono out there.
From what I know, yeah, a lot of cases.
Well, not pro bono, but yeah, pro bono, or on contingency. Nothing up front. Yeah. Because normally when they're pro bono, they come out and tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's traveling around. He's doing a lot. I mean, I don't want to, make him out to be an avalanche chaser, because I don't really think that's what he is. He gets seeked out in a whole lot of these situations.
Well, you said it, and he even said it in that article. You said it last week. Yeah, he's able to bring light on the situation, and get the wheels moving, like the way they keep saying, oh, it's being investigated. Well, the only reason I'm here is because y'all told his mama that there doesn't seem to be any foul play and whatnot.
Right. And he got decapitated and scalped.
Right.
And you talking about an animal did that.
And he had bruises and stuff, what I'm saying, while he was running.
Yeah.
Which means when he came into the police department, which is why I want to see these, if there's any film, did they see all of this on this man and see him sweating and pacing back and forth? And are you suggest, not yourself, but am I to believe that our government and police department, which he was paying taxes to because he worked in the area, some of his taxes out of his payroll was going there. Are you suggesting to me, self-love, that they would turn this young tax-paying citizen of the United States away in such a scenario? Do I have to believe this?
Oh, well, they're in an unincorporated area, and I think they do as they please. Think they don't have as much oversight as they actually do, and I think the cell phone pinging there
twice.
Was the
reason why they had to open their mouth up about anything?
Yeah, come up with some cockamamie.
Or else they would have just said his mama lying about all of this. You know, we don't know what she's talking about.
Absolutely. He was never here, and we don't, so, and there wouldn't have been no reason to say no foul play. Oh, yeah, look at this. This got to be animals.
Well, if we're in distress, yeah, you guys, so if you know of any resources, if you're in distress, I don't know, by any means necessary, we got to go get that person, man. Somehow, some way.
Man, Mississippi is the poorest state, and they don't even have potable water in the capital.
Yeah, didn't you say some people were barefoot like as late as the 90s when you used to go down there, walking around barefoot?
Yeah. Yep. I'm saying right now, they don't even have potable water in the capital.
Plumbing.
Potable, drinkable water that's safe to drink.
Potable?
Yeah, I guess. Potable.
Yeah. Wow.
Right now, that water crisis that's been going on, and there are a lot of destitute places.
Yeah, I want to say it had to be something going on at that job because I keep hearing people say, I've experienced it to an extent, but it was always enough of us around where it wasn't that big of an issue. But you got this clique of racists who work there, and they're skinheads, whatever they are, openly racist. They use different words and talk about MAGA and the conservatives a lot, but yeah, they'll toughen up like that area you mentioned around Marinette Park. I know what you're talking. It's not Alsa, but
Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon. Yeah, Yeah, that's it. Is it Mount Vernon or Mount? Is it Mount Vernon?
Wait a minute. It's Mount. I think it's Mount Vernon.
I know what you're talking about because we had a couple of them. They used to talk about that at high school. The high school I went to. They used to be talking about that area. And to your point, when I would get, even when I moved out there, they would tell me, yeah, stay away from here. You don't want to be over there, and they racist. You know what I'm trying to say, man? Like, you get the rundown. They give you the lowdown. Don't go over there. That's them guys. And if you go over there, that's those guys. And if you go over there, they're gonna try to put you in a tree. But would I not go work there?
Right. That's the thing.
That's the thing. Would I not go work there? I don't think it's Mount Vernon, Illinois, because that's another suburb.
No, it's not Illinois.
I know it's in the city.
Because that's really far off.
That's what I'm saying. Mount Greenwood. Yep.
Greenwood.
Right.
That's it. Yep. That's what I was looking for. Yep.
Yeah. Where you got all those tough, rocky, pink guys over
there. Way to go, Rocco! Way to go, Rocco!
They run up on you about 100 deep, with the bats and bottles, catch you in there after sundown. Yeah, Ace, way to go. Way to go, Ace. Way to go.
I used to drive through there from, going when I was working at
But they be giving you dirty looks from the cars and walking by?
Only like it was a trip. It was like following a funeral, and I saw all these people be so disrespectful to the funeral. Because, it was black people. I mean, so disrespectful.
Oh, just cutting through it and all of that.
Standing there yelling fucked up shit.
Wow.
Probably deserved it.
Disrespecting the dead. And you're not talking about your average kin. You're talking about people were probably upstanding business people wearing their masks.
I don't know what they were. There were some racists out there.
Were they young, middle-aged, all ages?
Older. Older and middle-aged.
one less we got to worry about. Stuff like that.
Yeah. And cutting in the line and all that.
Wow.
I
12
mean,
not doing nothing.
purposefully. Well, 12 wasn't even around.
All right, so we can't think of any resources. I'll start doing better research on this beforehand.
12 don't even have to, rotate in those sectors because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Safe havens for the.
Yeah, but you got 12 escorting the whole funeral procession.
Depending. They ain't escorting no black funeral procession unless it's a cop or someone,
Preacher, somebody with, yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and get to this dome teaser solution. What do you throw out when you want to use it, but take in when you don't want to use it? Self-love, the chat didn't have any pride. So go ahead, solutionist.
This one had me a little stumped for a little bit.
Because I said trash, which, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? It was bad.
Even after that, I was like, what? I guess, wait a minute, the trash I was probably still tripping on the trash. But it's actually an anchor.
A said ideas. Does that fit? And self-love is right with anchor. What do you throw out when you're on a boat? You throw out the anchor when you want to use it. And you take in. That's probably where you caught it, because take in when you don't want to use it. And that is an anchor. You throw out ideas when you want to use it. You don't throw out ideas when you want to use them, Ace. No.
Right.
Oh, well, yeah, you can if you're in a brainstorming session.
Yeah.
Tossing stuff off the wall.
Yes.
All right.
Take it in when you don't.
I don't know. No, I'd have flunked you. You couldn't have went to grade school with answers like that. You know what I mean? They'd have called your family up there and said, we're thinking about putting them in the LD classes. We got a bus for kids like that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, keep trying though. Your mind's getting stronger. Not bad. You made me think. So, all right. So we did our riddle, and next week on the Self-Love Show, House Stock is coming to the building. House Stock, everything House Stock. It's gonna be part of our house series out there, huh?
Yes, it is. Outstanding part.
Looking forward. So what's going on, Ace? Self, we got some partners, some planners or promoters. Who's coming?
Well, for sure, the founders and owners of Midwest Festivals, which is the who's putting on House Stock, myself, Wakil L, and DJ Creeper.
DJ Creeper's gonna be in the building. Hey,
I believe we're gonna have a couple of ladies who are very instrumental to our whole process, and we'll mention them once I make sure that they're going to be here.
All right. Well, that sounds very, very nice. So, you guys, we're going to talk house music and house stock. This is first annual.
First annual.
All right. So that's what we on next week. I'm definitely looking forward to that myself, there, fella.
Yeah, it's gonna be an awesome glamping event.
We glamping. We cold glamping. All right, and then so that's going to be the Self-Love Show next week, and then for you cats who are into politics, that's Mouthpiece included. You're right over there. That's where we mix politics with sports. Next week, we're breaking down the Black Fives. Those were the professional basketball Negro leagues before we were allowed to play in the NBA. What I did learn is that one of the excuses, and I'll give you guys a little taste of this. One of the excuses that the Pink Man was using for not going after some of the best black ball players were because the Harlem Globetrotters, who originated in Chicago, just like Soul Train did, and many other things, that they didn't want to offend the owner of the Harlem Globetrotters because the NBA wasn't really, packing the house when they started. And the Harlem Globetrotters would come through there and fill their stadiums up and they could make some money.
And beat them.
Oh, yeah. But they didn't want to piss the owner off by taking away his players.
Oh, there was a lot more players than that because the Harlem Globetrotters whooped the NBA champion often. It's known fact.
Correct. And they're saying that the reason they wouldn't draft their players, because obviously they had great players, is because now the owner would get mad and not bring the Harlem Globetrotters through your stadium and help you make that bump of income.
Were the first few players Harlem Globetrotters?
No, but the first one drafted was.
Yeah, absolutely drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying they didn't. The NBA. Man, I think it's hailing here in Chicago.
I'm
yeah.
Like, what the hell is that?
Cause man, you heard the thunder. You hear the thunder?
Yeah, now I hear it.
I'm like, man, and then now it's that's not rain, that's hail.
Yeah, but yeah. So no, they weren't Globetrotters. The one they drafted was. So that's what they were saying though, that they didn't want to piss him off. That's how much, to your point, they were beating their own teams and had the best talents. But I think it had a lot to do with racism as well. But we don't know what's in their hearts.
Yes, we do. And I think, if you really want to learn about the pioneers of basketball, y'all should check out the Mouthpiece Included. That was earlier today, and you'll learn a whole lot of information. And it's a reason why they didn't try to say they was the pioneers of breaking sports, because they didn't want to recognize everybody. I don't exactly know who the first black people in NFL either, because they put it all on who they put in place, Jackie Robinson.
Facts. All right, we're gonna see if he's gonna be able to get this off with all that background noise. But that brings us to my personal favorite part of the whole shebang, and that's Wordsmith's final words out there.
Yeah. The Curious Case of Rasheem Carter. The Creator is showing us we need to get justice for this martyr. We have to get our own so we don't have to barter our time for the fictitious money. We need real value. They need to see what it can be and not no BS slavery. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm so mad, I don't even want to riot. we the people, when dealing in tyrannical situations, have the duty to overthrow. When is enough enough? We shouldn't deal with it no more. We, the people, are more than 13%.
Facts.
We need to move and make it true. We did not give consent.
Time to dissent.
To this government overstepping its bounds. They think we stupid. But to me, they look like clowns. Bozo and Cookie. Out there like they chasing some nookie.
Nips.
Y'all need to quit. But better yet, don't. So we can end the whole script. Because the empire is at the end of its trail. And in the end, it always fails. Words.
Words. Word is born. Bravo, bravo, good brother. Bravo, bravo. Yeah, buddy. All right, y'all. Y'all know what we on. He hasn't dinged us yet, so. Inside of 360. Big ups to Kazodia.
Do you think you are the one?
Yes, sir.
Honestly, I don't know.
Do you know?
You know what that means? It's Latin. Means know thyself.
Yeah, love yourself too.
To know you is to love you.
Bullets are boomerang.
Stand your ground.
Murder. Suicide.
Yeah, man. Eye for an eye.
Silence is violence.
You see something, you say something.
Fuck 12, 12. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. Slave theory. You're going to take some greed, mix it with some ego, serve it over some fear, and now you have a slave.
Yeah, well, because, charity plus humility times love definitely erase that, because it's freedom.
Do not, under any questions, for any reason, under any circumstance, regardless of what you heard or where you heard it, do not answer questions.
Facts. But I don't care where you get it, or what you heard, or where it came from. Question everything.
Even the investigation by 12, they're taking a long day to investigate.
Yeah, you definitely got to investigate any investigation by 12.
We got to complete our investigation, and
I can't wait for you to, so we can see where you blew it.
And sometimes there's new information that comes up that can discount our entire investigation. We have to investigate again.
No,
right.
bring you right up on charges.
Yeah. Fear is cap. It's an illusion.
Yeah, man. It's only love. So vibrate it.
Forgiveness is the highest love vibration.
So forgive and do something charitable for a so-called enemy and end a beef.
A wise man told me healthy people heal thy people.
Yeah, because, man, for sure, I know hurt people gon' hurt people.
Free Larry Hoover.
Free Jeff Ford.
More growth and development. Free all the guys, man.
Prison is slavery.
Be like St. Pedro, keep your eyes on Yahusha, and you can walk on water too.
And know that, man. Just go ahead, move mountains.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
A mountain G?
Yeah, bro, I know you out there in Cali. That mountain right there.
No one can tell you you're in love. You just know it. Through and through. Balls to balls.
It all just move right up out the way. That's the self-love way.
Take a lot of energy to do that.
No, man, just the faith of a mustard seed. You know me, and you know us. We got way more than that.